nothing's gonna change my love for you. You all don't know by now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of, I never ask for more than your love.
Garibaldi Lake, located in Garibaldi Provincial Park in British Columbia, is one of the most stunning alpine destinations in Canada. Known for its turquoise blue waters and dramatic mountain scenery, the lake is a popular spot for hikers, campers, and nature lovers. How to get there? Location: Garibaldi Lake is accessible from the Rebel Creek trailhead, about a 1.5-hour drive from Vancouver. Hiking route: the most common way to reach the lake is via a moderately challenging hike along the Garibaldi Lake Trail, which is approximately 18 kilometers, round trip, with an elevation gain of about 820 meters. The trail takes 5 to 7 hours round trip, depending on your pace and stops. Tips. Preparation: bring enough water or a water filtration system. The lake is glacier fed, and be prepared for sudden weather changes. Wildlife: be cautious of wildlife, particularly black bears, which are common in the area. Permits: day-use permits or camping reservations are required to enter the park. It's a fantastic destination for nature enthusiasts looking for a rewarding hike and incredible views. That night at the Garibaldi Lake campground was one of discomfort, yet unforgettable in its intensity. As darkness settled over the campsite, the rain, which had persisted throughout the day, showed no signs of relenting. Instead, it seemed to grow heavier, the drops turning into a steady downpour that drummed relentlessly against the thin walls of our tents. The once dry interiors now felt like soggy, uncomfortable spaces, and before long, our sleeping bags were absorbing moisture from the tent floor. For some of us, the sleeping bags weren't warm enough to combat the cold for a good sleep. They lay awake, cold and uncomfortable, wishing for the rain to stop and morning to come. It was a hard night, but one that none of us would forget. The hike to Panorama Ridge started under a gray, brooding sky, as the rain from the previous night lingered over us. As we climbed, the landscape began to shift from dense forest to rocky alpine terrain, but the view remained hidden behind a thick curtain of fog and rain. The trail grew steeper, the rain was now a constant companion, drenching our clothes. Frustrated but determined, we continued the climb, driven by the hope that the summit would make the struggle worthwhile. And then, as we neared the top of Panorama Ridge, something incredible happened. The clouds, which had seemed so immovable all day, began to break. Slowly, patches of blue sky appeared, and the rain began to taper off. By the time we reached the summit, the clouds had parted just enough to grant us the view we had come for, a stunning, panoramic vista that stretched out before us, revealing the full glory of Garibaldi Lake below.
Baby, I know all your secrets, but you tell me stupid lies. Oh, you think you can escape now, and got it all just figured out. You can fake it through the ceiling to the rooftops while I'm leaving. You're my greatest mistake, greatest mistake. shape now. Ain't got it all just figured out. You can take it through the ceiling to the rooftops while I'm leaving. You're my greatest mistake. Greatest mistake.
The turquoise water shimmered in the sunlight, framed by the jagged peaks of the surrounding mountains. The contrast between the bright blue of the lake and the dark, rugged rocks made the scene even more striking. It was as though we had climbed out of one world and into another, where the harshness of the rain-soaked hike was suddenly forgotten in the face of such overwhelming beauty. Standing there, on the edge of the ridge, we soaked in the moment. The clear weather window felt like a gift after the long, grueling hike in the rain, a moment of clarity and reward, a reminder that sometimes the hardest journeys lead to the most breathtaking destinations. In that moment, everything, the cold, the wet, the water damage of my phone, seemed insignificant compared to the immense beauty of Garibaldi Lake. It was a view I would carry with me for the rest of my life. The day we packed up our gear to leave Garibaldi Lake was a stark contrast to the rain-soaked journey we had endured. As we emerged from our tents, the sun was already shining brightly, its warmth chasing away the lingering chill from the previous days. The lake sparkled under the clear sky, a perfect reflection of the surrounding mountains, making it hard to believe we had been enveloped in clouds and rain not long before. It was a beautiful day for the hike back, and we were grateful for the change in weather. With our packs loaded and our spirits lifted by the sunshine, we began the trek back to the Rubble Creek trailhead. The descent along the forest trail felt easier, though our legs were tired from the strenuous days of hiking. As we walked through the thick canopy of towering Douglas fir trees, the forest felt alive in the morning light. Sunbeams filtered through the branches, casting long shadows and illuminating patches of moss and ferns. It was as if we had stepped into Alice's Wonderland, where everything seemed a little more magical, the vibrant green of the trees and undergrowth shimmering in the dappled sunlight. The forest trail was quiet, save for the sounds of birds and the rustling of leaves in the breeze. The weight of our packs, though heavy, seemed less burdensome with each passing kilometer as we reveled in the peacefulness of the trail. The exhaustion from the climb to Panorama Ridge and the sleepless, rain-drenched nights began to fade, replaced by a sense of contentment and accomplishment. Each step brought us closer to the parking lot, but also to the end of a journey that had tested us physically and mentally. By the time we reached the Rubble Creek parking lot, we were exhausted, our legs sore and our bodies aching. But there was also a deep sense of satisfaction. We had faced the unpredictable challenges of the wilderness, rain, cold, fatigue, and come out the other side stronger. The journey had been difficult, but it was the difficulty that made the experience so rewarding. As we stood by the Garibaldi Lake trail map and information board, sweaty and tired, we shared smiles and quiet words of triumph. The beauty of Garibaldi Lake, the struggle to reach Panorama Ridge, and even the rain-soaked nights at the campground had all been worth it. We had braved the elements, faced our own limits, and discovered the true power of nature to humble and inspire. And in that moment, we knew this was an experience we would carry with us for years to come.